Welcome back to the Mad Ads Department, your corner of the internet for everything advertising. We've got a pretty packed episode today. We've had a very interesting last couple of days since our episode last week again in the ad world, and lots of new campaigns, lots of news, lots of collabs, and so much more. So there's a lot of good, but there's, I fear, a lot more bad this week, it seems. Unfortunately, we are here to cover it all, but before we do that, Luke, how we doing, brother?
Mate, I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I've been really in the weeds of the internet looking at kind of some great campaigns and some really interesting static ads and just overall some really interesting angles that brands are playing to. The big one, not even a running brand, a very famous clothing brand did a series around a pregnant runner.
Really?
Yeah. And we'll look at the campaign together in this episode. A pregnant runner. Yeah, 1.2 million views. Very well-known brand. Probably one of the biggest ever. Bigger than Nike. That's not fair. But it depends on which.
I think I might have actually seen this one.
Okay, fine. But that's coming up today. So, Carson, do you want to kick us off with some campaigns that have got you excited?
Let's kick off with probably the biggest news in the last couple days, and it is
this. Yeah.
Nike was pressured into taking this ad down for the Boston Marathon. And it says runners welcome, walkers tolerated. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot to cover with this specifically because one, this ad is not at all offensive. Boston Marathon is a very prestige, like you have to qualify to get in and run a certain marathon. You have to be able to like get through it. It's not like everybody's welcome. It's an exclusive event, right? It's probably the most exclusive marathon in the world, or at least up there. And if you know Nike, you know that their brand identity was built on two things: greatness and winning. Runners welcome, walkers tolerated plays into that branding a little bit. Now, I will preface this: copy is not my favorite per se, but I don't hate the ad. And the fact that people were bitching about this tells me everything I need to know about them. They're not Nike's audience. They're the people who want to complain about everything. They should be the people Nike doesn't give a shit about, right? The second was the fact that they just succumbed to the pressure and were like, oh, well, we're sorry. We're going to take it down. We'll do something else. And the one they put up after was so bad. I don't even remember what it said off the top of my head, but it was so bad. And I'll show it after this in a second. But it blows my mind that they have just lost their way and their identity because they want to market to everybody. Now, if you know me and my philosophy, it's like, if you market to everybody, you're going to die. And so this is what they put up after this one right here. Boston will always remind you movement is what matters. So bad. Basically saying, like, if you're in Boston, as long as you're moving during the marathon, like, you got this. What the fuck? Like, what has Nike just watered themselves down to? Luke, give me your thoughts here, because I'm getting fired up over this.
Again, it's a classic example. The best brands have a point of view, and at the moment, Nike's is the most diluted point of view I've ever seen. It's like having Ribena Ribena concentrate and pouring it all the way full of water, and then it tastes of nothing. And that is a great example. It tastes of nothing. You've got to stand for something as a brand, like more than ever. In a way, actually, like putting the ad down and putting that ad on, I think is even more disgraceful. I agree. I wouldn't even try to backtrack. The backtrack is just a joke in itself.
It's even worse. Just leave it at that point. Just don't even try.
But
if
also,
you're gonna fold, just fold gracefully and don't even try to get back up, because in this scenario, cut your losses.
But it's Nike. But the problem is, right, it's Nike running, right? It's not Nike golf. It's not Nike whatever. It's not that. It's the Nike running niche, right?
And it's where they started. That's the most annoying part. This is the core of their business. This is the foundation itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And I
100%
got
agree.
into it with somebody on LinkedIn because I posted about like how this is ridiculous, and they were like, "Well, I'll read you the comment right now. I'll
God, you're
read you the
not.
comment and I'll read you
Oh,
exactly what I
we're
replied."
shock horror.
So somebody said, "Based on the campaigns Nike's been running for the last 20 years on everyone being an athlete, this is completely off brand. They're right to remove it." And I first off was like, I just replied and added them and said, "Yeah, and this is what everyone's an athlete gets you." And it's a picture of their stock price at $46.
Right. I mean, bro, that's putting the guy in the grave. Holy shit. Damn. That's that's a response.
I
That's
mean,
like, yeah, agreed.
and then it was she came back with some like,
Jesus.
stocks aren't an accurate measurement of customer connection, happiness, or engagement with a campaign. Social media would matter as a better measurement tool. No, that's not at all what it is.
I hit it with the Ogilvy quote saying it's only a creative if it sells.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, and
You think
what the sales current.
you think that this is based on feelings? Then it is based on feelings. People feel terrible about the brand.
Well, it's like, again, Nike, it's Nike running, right? It's not even like that ad was for Nike running, their segment of the like that. Like, I know Nike is a running brand in itself, but like that was like Nike running, like their main account for the running niche, right? Like that just makes perfect sense as an ad. Why would they get rid of it?
Well, and
Unless this is what they want. They want us talking
because
about it.
because they got backlash for saying that like they're pace shaming people. And all the runners I know are like,
Hey, shaming. That's a new one.
who cares? Who cares? It's Boston. It's Boston.
Well, it's like having a go at someone for like walking. Like, well, actually, in my opinion, if you're, it's like being at the Olympics and one of your runners is walking. Like, you would be annoyed at them. They're meant to be the top of the top of the top. They're meant to be the elite of the elite. Like, then there's no walking allowed. I know it's a bit of a stupid
What
example, but I think
and
it's got the
here's the thing that I want to actually the point I do want to get across is runners understand that the everybody's goal is different and they're only trying to beat themselves. Right?
same.
There is no shame. Runners know there's no shame in walking.
Yeah.
It's just like it's funny and it also just like to me that psychs me up to be like, yeah, like no walking. I got to run this thing through and like help myself accomplish my own goals.
It's a great
That's what
example.
I think.
But I think it's a great example where their internal team is so scared of their stakeholders. Again, stakeholders being their customers, and a bit of backlash that they've just responded by ripping it up and then putting a shittier ad there. Like, I think you just own that. I think you just own it, say, "Yeah, we've made that. That's how we feel." You know, but also as well, by actually removing it, it implies more guilt on their end. They're basically saying, "Yeah, we're wrong."
So
Yeah. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy man with that one. I'm not a big fan
in
from like.
in addition to Nike's horrendous fiasco, ASICS decided to join the party and put up a billboard themselves that says runners, walkers, all welcome. Move your body, move your mind. ASICS. And I quote tweeted this and I just said, this is dog shit. And it blew up because this is horrible. If you're trying to take a jab at Nike, this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, I just think this is just like a very bad response. And to be honest with you, I think the copy's weak.
It's terrible.
Like just it's like, but the whole point of Nike's first time, like, imagine why they probably got really excited because it's aspirational to run a full marathon. It's
Yeah,
aspiration. You don't train as much as these people train to like. Of course, some people have to walk it, right? And that's absolutely fine. But people
that's
don't
why
want
it's tolerated.
that's why it's tolerated, right? It still isn't it's still showing the outcome of your hard dedication that you've ran a lot of it and you've walked, which is still permitted.
Yeah. I just know that the ASICS team was like, oh, we got him with this one. We so got him. Like we're gonna be
Not bad.
so cool in front of consumers. And I'm like, you guys look like a fucking bunch of idiots.
Well, I would love to see the yeah, I mean, you made a post on X about it, and clearly people agreed with you on that one. No,
Just
that's
terrible.
wild. So I'm going to show you a very fun campaign that I stumbled upon, and I think we're going to watch a little bit of it. I want Carson's view because Carson has no idea what's coming. Well, apart from the fact it's not really a running brand, right? But I argue that they're probably one of my favorite brands ever, just from like their mission and a great example of standing for what they believe in, right?
Yeah.
Any guesses on the brand very quickly, Carson? Well, it's about to come up anyway, but there you are. It's
Wow.
Patagonia. So I'm gonna not play any audio because I don't want that kind of to affect it, but basically a very raw, very authentic clip of a pregnant runner running, right? And I think this, and again, there's got 1.2 million views. It's done very well organically, and it's the campaign coming to term, right? And I think this is a really beautiful way to document, I mean, just someone's journey in running and the fact that someone's not willing to give up and keep running as they've got a
That
child.
is crazy.
Indeed. Patagonia, just to show a bit more context on their brand. Everyone knows Patagonia, but you can see here this has got around 1.2 million. And I think they're making spin outs from it as well. So
That's crazy.
it's a documented series on this. I mean, she's an ultra marathon runner, which is really exciting. I think there's a YouTube video, so it's a long form kind of play. So again, this is a classic strategy of using clips to take people to the long form on YouTube. Again, some people disagree. Some people disagree, saying this is unhealthy. I just think they should shut the fuck up and accept this is what someone wants to do with their body and they're proud to be running. But yeah, I thought this is a really cool campaign. What do you think, Carson? What I've shown you?
That's crazy. What a different way to like make people make a story for your brand. Good for both of them.
Yeah, it's the will that class the baby's first marathon? Hold on. How does that work? Because technically,
baby's first ultra.
That's impressive. I'm jealous. Comes out the women's doing an ultra.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
In other news, we also got an additional couple announcements this week. This is very poor. So many reasons. But a Starbucks ChatGPT integration.
Yeah, well, this is
And first off, this is a terrible way to promote it. But in what world are we trying to like if I get everybody's like, you're an AI company now. This is stupid. I don't want Starbucks and ChatGPT to tell me what drinks might be best for me. I just want to get the drink I want to get.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone's like, we need to have AI in our business in some way, shape, or form. Dude, can we just relax for a second and just cut it with not everybody needs to be a tech company.
But it's an interesting question though, because it's like, this is where I would love to hear what people's views would be. Is it hyper personalization to the point where it's actually just too weird? Because I don't know, but I'm famously annoying. Like, I won't allow food companies to have any access to my data. So I could do like in the UK, something called Tesco Club Card, where you get discount on food. I don't like the fact that Tesco's can monitor what I'm eating. That freaks me out. I think this would freak me out if ChatGPT had all my drinks data. I mean, imagine the world we could get to, right, where they could know that I've had a double espresso at 9 a.m. Then they could give me an ad saying, oh, how's that morning crash and caffeine? You should try matcha. I mean, that's going to freak me out.
Yeah, and it's also
you know what I mean?
It's also ridiculous because people don't. I think it's going to be a flop that's not going to get used because think about it. How many times do you go to Starbucks or get like a look at your phone and your Starbucks app and you're like, ChatGPT says I should try this new drink. Maybe I should do it. It's like, I just want to go get a iced vanilla latte like I usually do. Like, forget about the drinks. Don't tell me what I want. Don't even show me what you think I want. I know what I want. I think it comes off more of a threat to autonomy than anything.
Well, I mean, did you see the thing about how it got apparently leaked? How much it cost to do the pilot with the advertising? The CPMs apparently going to be $60 to advertise on ChatGPT. And basically, there's been rumors on like the pricing and how they're doing it with those early pilot customers. I don't know. I'm not bullish on it.
Me either.
I'm bullish on AI, but I'm not bullish on how this is an activation. I don't get this activation. I get why some people will love it. They'll go, oh, it's great. But it's like, you've got a Starbucks.
I feel like the majority are probably shitting on it.
Well, you've got a Starbucks app. I mean, what? Come on. Like, use the app. Why do you need it? Like,
and you can also just go to the app and order whatever you want. You don't need ChatGPT to tell you like, oh, this is what we'd recommend. It's like, you can look at the menu. But also, anyway, In other
What you
news, Miller Lite and influencer Livy Dunn announced their partnership for advertising. So there has been no release yet of any ad coming out or anything, but they have announced the partnership. I believe yesterday it was announced. And so I
yeah.
guess this is an interesting play. Like Luke, do you know who Livy Dunn is?
Jim
LSU gymnast. She's
Yeah, oh, the
dating.
gym
Yeah.
oh, hold on. Her boyfriend is the baseball player.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice, yeah.
Paul Skeens pitcher for the Pirates. What do you think of this?
Again, it comes down to a CPM perspective. I'm just really weird about influencers. It's like how much it's gonna cost them per 1,000 views, basically.
And also, I don't understand the play.
Well, the the if you're looking at influencer campaigns, what they'll probably justify is I'll say, "Look, hey, she'll own the macro movement." So the reason why I believe people pay for the big influencers, right, like the Kim K's, I'm not saying Olivia Dunn and Kim K on the same, like, level of influence like tier, but like those types of influencers, let's say, they usually pay them the big money to kind of create the macro moment. And then they use the micro, yeah, like the micro influencers and the like to kind of amplify the story because it's cheaper for them to do it. So that's the only reason they're going to try and do like a cultural zeitgeist play. I think they'll try and make a movement using Lydia Dunn to be the spearhead, and then get all the little influencers to kind of like amplify it. That's probably what they're going to do. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's I don't love it as a play. I mean, I don't think it's a horrible one, and we'll have to see how like the ads pan out and how it's received. But for me, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
But
Think
also, yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
also
I don't know
again,
how I
like
feel about it.
again, in my opinion as well, I would probably say how much is the contract, and I'd probably like, okay, we could have actually had, you know, 10,000 micro influencers, we could have had like 20,000 nano influencers. Like the message amplification you could produce is
Yeah.
probably so much greater doing that than doing it. I'm just so bullish on UGC grassroots plays, like local town localization, get those content creators, and then activate. Right? Don't use one person to do all of it. It's just a
Yeah.
heavy lifting, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it's American Eagle, unless it's flipping Sydney Sweeney level shit, and then
Yeah,
it plays. But
not
it's hard though,
I
yeah?
tell you what, it wasn't as divisive as that was. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting play for sure. Have you got any other news? Because I've
I
got like,
do. I
all right, let's
do.
hear it. Hell
I'm gonna take
yeah.
yeah, I've been prepping this episode hard. So the UK have got their marathon coming up soon. I don't know, the London
Yep,
Marathon
London Marathon.
is coming up, and Burger King love to show up in these situations. And I want to know what your view on this is, because I'm still on the fence. Essentially, what Burger King have done is they're doing a Burger King UK are bringing a Tasty Marathon Award for runners, and the concept is it's Whopper of a finish.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I
This is
thought,
good. Well done for Burger King.
yeah, I think it's a great little activation. I think it's a great way to kind of, again, what psychological bias? I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one where basically it's no halo effect, right? It's by taking Burger King what they do, even though yes, it's maybe not the most healthiest food, but it's giving it as like a treat. So it's being seen that Burger King is a treat, thus making it perceived better value. Oh, you know what I mean? But yeah, like use photos from the previous years of winners to enjoy the Whop. The Whoppers show that it's a real runner ritual. They're bringing it back this year. Marathon finishers just need to show their medal to get a free Whopper.
So I I like the campaign.
Mm.
I personally
Go for it.
think they should have add a whopper of a finish. When you think about finishing the marathon and it just has like they're finished and then time, like I saw,
Yeah.
and it's got them eating the whopper, not everybody necessarily knows it's a whopper, right? And if you want to tie your brand in more, I think a whopper of a finish does the job of just tying it all together.
You know what I'd have done, right? Because I've got the pleasure to know marathon runners, and they love talking about their time. I'd have made an online activation when you get the Whopper, you can put your data, and it's like a really beautiful like Strava-esque like data thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah.
then people will share it online. They'll share their time with like the Whopper back. I don't know, like some Whopper activation where it makes sense to be posted online. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just a beautiful thing Burger King did there. And then I think I've got one more campaign. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is in New York, actually. British Airways. Do you know anything about what I'm about to show you?
So
Yeah, I love it. British Airways have been having fun as a team. They have been scheming away, and they're turning the subway into a cabin. So it's an unexpected placement, which then creates high attention, which high attention then creates organic moments. Organic moments get amplified because more people post. So I'm going to quickly show you the video that they posted on their channel. And again, Carson, you know the drill. I want to hear what you think. I will also play audio for this as well for this one. Let me unmute. No, it should be good to go. Here we are. This is the video. Oh, sorry.
Interesting. I couldn't hear any of it, but I read all the text. So that was
Oh, well, basically, the slogan is everything's better with a British accent. And as a Brit who's been to New York, I fully agree with this sentiment.
I think it's a cool experiential campaign.
Oh, it's charming. It's an unexpected moment. You know, I'm a big fan of it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. It's different. It's also immersive, and there's not a lot of friction. It's like, oh, you could win a free trip to Spain. All I got to do is increase the shareability of this. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, great.
So I like that campaign a lot. I think that's very solid. One other piece of news that I've got is the release yesterday of ChatGPT Images 0.0.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
have you seen this yet?
I'm a nano man myself. I live on the nano banana.
All right, so we'll watch this together. Let me know if you can hear it. What do we think?
I'm quite pleasantly surprised. Actually, I don't hate it at all.
I don't hate it either.
You know, I feel something. It's better than the worst thing in the world, the feeling of nothingness when you watch certain ads. And we saw that at the Super Bowl. But I felt something. I felt a journey. I saw the power of their products. I think it's a very simple storyline that people could follow. And yeah, I mean, would I skip that on YouTube? Probably if I saw it as an ad. But as something that gave me some sense of feeling, I felt something, which is nice.
I think it was solid. Like it takes you on a little bit of a journey. It tells a little bit of a story, and it uses the product to show what you can get out of it, right? And like what the tweet says, introducing ChatGPT Images 2.0, a state-of-the-art image model that can take on complex visual tasks and produce precise, immediately usable visuals with sharper editing, richer layouts, and thinking level intelligence. Video made with ChatGPT Images.
Mm.
So I honestly thought, I mean, it did 5 million views, 19,000 likes. I think it was very solid, and I tried it out yesterday as well. It did very well in terms of what I wanted, and it listened a lot better than any of the other platforms I've used so far. So in terms of like how I feel about this, I think the ad was great. The product so far has been good. It's also a lot faster than before. So good on the OpenAI team for what they've done here.
Apparently, because you know, like over the last couple of months, basically everyone has. Well, I mean, I think it's still on top. Everyone's, you know, Claude's the best thing. ChatGPT's in the bin, whatever. I've definitely felt the sentiment that ChatGPT's having its kind of a little bounce back. I don't know if it's enough for them to come back in people's minds because so many people have called ChatGPT trash. But you know, it's a positive step for them as a company because you're hopeful that this will get into people's minds.
One thing I do want to open this conversation up real quick is because you said something very important. Like you think most people think ChatGPT is trash, right? One thing I've noticed just for everyday consumers, there's two platforms that they talk about the most. And they say, ask ChatGPT and ask Gemini. I've never heard anybody say ask Claude.
Yeah.
I've heard say I use Claude, but when it comes to everyday consumers, it seems to me like Google, which makes sense, and ChatGPT, which makes sense, was the first ever, are like the top cream of the crop in terms of like everyday usage.
I
Now,
think
it's always changed, but just something that I've noticed that I think is an interesting topic of conversation. Like, do we think a lot of it is just novelty bias? Like because they were OpenAI was the first to the game that like they've got the mass market share and they've been able to be ahead and keep up for a while. And then now it's like Claude's they're basically switching places.
Yeah.
Because now apparently Codex is unreal. So
yeah, I mean, I think how I look at it essentially is you've got I don't know what my view is right now on it. All I would say is that the people that I've spoken to in our industry, like they all love Claude. But then you are right, the average consumer is probably not going to be that in the weeds or that caring of what like they just probably want something again. Like I saw a study that like the most queried thing on ChatGPT is what's the weather going to be like? Like people aren't using it for complex things, right? So I think there's a bit of like confirmation bias in our minds that Claude is fantastic because everyone in our industry uses it, especially the ecom like Claude
I
Code.
also want OpenAI and Google to be so great because there is so much less of an issue when I use the platform. I know this is very off topic, but like when I use those platforms, I don't worry about what my usage rate limits are. Like I don't have to worry about it because I don't reach them. Like they're much higher. Claude, you run out of tokens in 2 seconds.
Well, Google AI Studio has got like a million
Yeah.
tokens. It's
Which
wild.
makes sense. I mean, they're a company that they make so much already, and they've got the infrastructure in place to be able to like let you do that. But I don't think I've ever had Google tell me you've reached a limit, and I don't think unless I was on free version of ChatGPT years ago that I've ever had it do the same thing.
Yeah, no, agreed. No, I fully agree. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So
I mean, a question I have. I mean, I may be wrong, but is it the time where I find an ad that was made 50 years ago?
we can do that. I've got weekly campaigns to kind of run through, but let's do the history first. We've got plenty of time left.
Yes. Okay, I'll give you some context, right? So in the 70s in the UK, lemonade was seen as very childish, right? And not very masculine, right? So there was a company called R. White's, which is very famous for lemonade in the UK. And they were their sales were really struggling, right? They were great for the younger demographic, but selling to like the old demographic, they were having problems because people didn't want to have the lemonade. They thought it was childish. So of course, the best way to counter a objection of skepticism is bring some humor. So this is what they did. I'm gonna get the video up for you. 1 second, and it's the secret lemonade drinker. So if I'll share the audio as well for this, so it should be working. Hold on. Well, I may have a bit of a technical difficulty here. Oh, hold on. I can edit this out. Don't
Do you
worry.
have the link?
Well, I do, but hold on.
Because
We're
I'll
having this.
pull it up if you got the link.
Yeah, fine. That's a good idea. Carson, let's put. Okay, hold on. Let me just do a cut so this is easier for me. So I'm now going to show you the video, but to make it more fun for the audience, I'm going to let Carson show the video so you can react to it live. So the campaign is R. White's "I'm a Secret Lemonade Drinker," and it came out in 1973. So you and I were very much not born.
Yeah, my mom and dad were barely born.
So precisely. So this is an old ad, but I think it's a great ad to show people about how do you flip a skepticism. There we are. There you go. So that is the R. White's lemonade campaign, and I just wanted to kind of show people it because I think it's a great example of okay, you know that there's a demographic that isn't drinking your lemonade. Okay, it's probably because they think it's childish. How can we actually like lean into that and make that kind of an instant humor and like make people laugh? And that campaign did very well for R. White's. So there you go.
I
There's a
love it.
campaign for you, Carson. Good
I
campaign
love
there.
it.
And that jingle, by the way, carried that brand so hard. That little jingle we heard.
Oh, of course.
That's embedded in some culture. Not in all UK culture, but there's some people that still remember that jingle.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got some very big news in the music industry.
Oh, is this
So
ice cubes? Ice?
it has to do with some ice cubes.
Yeah,
So
no, this is
Drake
wild.
announced this week that his new album is coming out soon, but he didn't say when. Instead, what he did was put up a massive, I don't know what to call this, barrier of ice cubes, ice blocks in the middle of Toronto.
A weird
And it basically is for everybody to go and break in so that you can find out the release date of the album in the middle of the ice block. And in order to additionally advertise this campaign, he's doing a little bit more. So I believe I don't know what this exactly is from. I think it might have been some promo video. But he also had his and his son's chairs for the Toronto Raptors game iced out. So I assume the project's going to be called Iceman. Then he had the Iceman sculpture, obviously spotted in Toronto. And
Yeah.
this graphic as well, and I saw Rosie on X said, "If you're working on a go-to-market, study Drake's Iceman campaign." I couldn't agree more. This is fantastic promotion and advertising by Drake and his team. It's got me excited already, and I don't know anything.
I mean, Drake. I feel like Drake needs a bit of a comeback in this album. I feel like people have been clowning him since the Kendrick Lamar beef. So I think this is an important time for Drake to return to the heights that he once
But
had.
all the man does is drop bangers.
True, but he did take a bit of an L with Kendrick. I mean,
I
Kendrick
mean,
Lamar
he's one of the
Kendrick Lamar took him to school and showed him what lyrics are, and then gave him a lesson afterwards as well.
dude, but I hate Kendrick. Like, I'm not gonna give anything to Kendrick. I think he sounds like a nasally 5th grader. Anyway, beside the point.
That's a TMO for later, but okay, fine.
Beside the point. What do you think?
Well, it's perfect activation, right? It's essentially what he's done is he's found moments where lots of cameras will be, and he's put the ice concept, and it's got that through line. So from like a storytelling perspective, it's genius, right? It's that through line, ice is carrying it through. There's a bit of like interactive trying to break through. 4 million views on socials and saying we're yapping about it, which implies that it's working. I love it. I'm excited to see what drops. Big fan.
Yeah, I love it too. Another piece of news.
Ooh, God, it's
So
news.
Luke, as you know, we've got the World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
And Axe, the body spray and deodorant company, the Unilever brand, is now tapping in to the FIFA World Cup with a TikTok sweepstakes, and it'll award 82 tickets across 7 matches, including a final grand prize with 2 tickets to a private suite at a Miami quarterfinal. How crazy is that?
You can get those final tickets though, could they?
They teamed up too with the Pointer Brothers. If you know them from Instagram, they're content creators on TikTok and Instagram as well, doing short form like skits and stuff.
Oh, sick.
But it's also in an effort to connect them more with Gen Z. So
yeah,
I'm not sure. Here it is. So the TikTok sweepstakes kicked off April 15th and will run through the end of May. To enter, consumers must upload a video of themselves asking someone out in an over-the-top World Cup FIFA outfit and mention Axe, a movement meant to prove that Axe can provide all the confidence needed for an individual to strike up a connection, even while wearing some crazy outfit. Wow. This is some great advertising and a great sweepstakes. So Axe, what a round of applause. What a round of applause. This is fire.
I back their attempt to let the Gen Z audiences build connections, even though they can barely do a monthly subscription. You know, it's like with Hinge, they had to do like 1-day passes. So I back Axe. Good luck. Good luck.
I also want to shout out the fact that they are aiming this as a point to prove that Axe gives people confidence, because it's quite literally like, it might not be that they're doing it for the fact because they're wearing Axe, but what it projects is the fact that, oh, this person's wearing Axe, they're confident. I love it. This is fire.
Mate, I agree. I like they're building a moment. They're building that cultural moment. It'd be very interesting to see how they execute. But yeah, from the early basis, from a brief perspective, I think it could be a golden one.
Yeah. So
it's good.
Luke, what takeaways do you have right now? Like what are the main things that you're seeing that you want to let people know about? Because I've got a big one, and it's honestly a big theme from this week. But I want to hear like what are people missing right now?
It's a very good question. I think for me, it's not like in the weeds, like a Facebook ads, like what static ads I'd be making, what video ads I'd be suggesting. I mean, from on that end, I would say just really lean into like AI gen videos, like clay animations, like animate your product. So there's like build like cartoons and characters. If you need inspiration, look at like TV shows of like anime. That's a great place to look. Look at all those things. So that's like in the weeds kind of thing. But I think an overarching macro one is don't be Nike. You know, stand for something, write it on your board, and every campaign, every decision, every whatever, you point and say, does it lead back to that brand message, right?
Yeah.
Don't have zero backbone. Unless your brand message is, we have no backbone, then do Nike. Then do what they do. That's my viewpoint. So like, really understand what you stand for, and like, don't deviate from the plan. You know,
I like that. I think that's a great takeaway.
That's my macro. That's my macro. And then my micro is look at like AI gen videos for ad accounts. They're doing really well across the accounts I've seen. They're scaling like nuts. So yeah. That's what I've been seeing. What about you, Carson?
Dude, my big one right now, especially given everything that we've gone through today and that's happened in the last like week or two, organic, organic, organic. We have
Yeah.
we have such a crisis right now for great organic content from the brand side, less the creator side. There's always going to be people who are very creative and doing their own thing, but brands have got to catch up. They've got to catch up. They need to do more crazy stuff. They need to do more immersive stuff and really like hammering home like campaigns that are shareable. I mean, when it comes to organic social, you need something that's going to evoke emotion and be very shareable. So do things around that that are going to like your core thought process when it comes to organic social and advertising on organic social is okay, how do we make this a part of this part of our brand? And how can we connect with people to get them to share it? Could be through humor, could be through emotion, like a deeper emotion, like sadness or a story of some sort, whatever you want to pick. But how are you going to be able to connect this to your brand, evoke emotion, and get it to be shared? Those are the big things about organic social.
Agreed.
And I think it's being very slept on right now.
Well, I just think teams, I think, again, building these content pillars out, building out, it can seem very difficult, but I think number one rule, just like look at what your audience is already watching and then adapt it to what your content is. Like, for example, one of the most easiest tricks I've ever seen, like look at long form, go on YouTube, look at like, let's say you're a running niche, look at what long form like running content looks like. And then ask the simple question, how can we turn that into short 30-second to a minute clips and build a story? Like if it's like a documentary of someone doing their first 5K run, make that into a short form series. You know, if you haven't got much budget and you're starting out, you go, maybe buy every single pair of running shoes and review them and then say, this is a running shoe that we've launched because we've done it. We've looked at 100 different shoes and we've seen this is the biggest problem. And then we've built this shoe, you know, like, again, and if you're worried that people don't think that you've got authority in the niche, right? And you think people won't give a shit about what you're talking about, talk about the history. People can't, you don't have a go at your history teacher for telling you about Napoleon, right? We understand he wasn't
Good
there.
point.
Don't have a go at him. You don't have a go at your history teacher for telling you the facts. So do the same. Talk about the history of like your category. That's how you can build authority. Simple. It's not, you don't need to be a rocket science to work that one out. But yeah,
I love it.
imagine having a go at your history teacher for like saying, oh, you don't know anything about Napoleon. It's like,
I can't even imagine.
bro, imagine you weren't there. It's like, yes, I was. I don't know, I was 400 years old. Anyway. What about you? What's your you've done your takeaway, haven't you? It's organic,
Yeah.
big organic, build those systems and just scale to the moon. Yeah.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to be a wrap for this week's episode. But we've been very lucky the last 2 weeks of starting this. But I think I'm enjoying it. I think Luke's enjoying it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Let us know in the comments, please. We're having a lot of fun with this new format, and I think it's very beneficial too for everybody because we can kind of talk through like the news and what's going on and our thoughts and why we think that way. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Send this to anybody who you think might like it, and we'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.
Peace.